Welcome to NAF's 2021 Virtual Benefit, celebrating NAF's spirit of resilience and innovation. Tonight, we'll travel across the country to hear inspirational stories from our network, including Sandy Weil, J.D. Hoy, NAF's Board of Directors, NAF students, NAF alumni, including from the very first NAF Academy in Brooklyn, New York, and of course, NAF's teachers. We'll also hear some special messages from corporate partners and surprise guests. And now, your host, Chanel Jones.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to NAF's 2021 Virtual Benefit. I'm Chanel Jones, co-host of the third hour of the Today Show. It is great to be here with all of you, the National NAF Network of students, alumni, leadership fellows, advisory board members, corporate partners, and this year's honorees, NAF's incredible teachers, more than 2,000 educators from across the country who deserve this special recognition for the commitment, creativity, innovation, and perseverance they have demonstrated over the last year. To those of you who are new to NAF, I am excited to introduce you to its mission in this virtual space. NAF is a national network of education, business, and community leaders who work together to ensure that high school students are college and career ready. NAF's career-themed academics act like small learning communities within public schools. The academies connect what students learn in the classroom to careers and growing industries through rigorous career-focused curriculum tied to work-based learning activities with industry professionals. This didn't change when COVID forced schools all across the country to go virtual in 2020. NAF Academies made sure students were provided with meaningful remote classroom projects and virtual work-based learning experiences, and even internships. An unexpected benefit of learning in the digital space was that it allowed students to build interpersonal skills and network with peers and professionals from outside of their communities. NAF's leadership quickly came to see the critical value of its curriculum in a COVID-restricted environment, and the decision was made to offer open access to its entire curriculum to any high school teacher in the country. The response was significant. NAF's resources have been downloaded more than 30,000 times since September, offering educators and students much-needed learning options when they needed them most. It is only right that the theme of this evening is resilience and innovation. During the deepest disruption in education in our country's history, NAF offered essential resources and a sense of community to those who needed it most. NAF helps students and educators effectively pivot to virtual learning under incredibly challenging circumstances. And despite multiple obstacles, the NAF network rose to the challenge of ensuring students are future ready. But success could not have been possible without NAF's teachers. They were already heroes, but in the past year, they became superheroes. From New York to Hawaii, 100% of NAF educators were teaching remotely last spring, but their work didn't stop there. Those superheroes did everything from setting up buses with hotspots to delivering assignments to students who didn't have Wi-Fi to making sure students had enough to eat. NAF's teachers became a lifeline to young people and their families struggling to navigate dramatic and difficult change. Teachers have always been the backbone of NAF Nation, and this year, many of you bore more responsibility than you ever could have imagined possible. To NAF's teachers, tonight is about celebrating you and honoring all that you have accomplished. I look forward to hearing your stories a little later on, but first, let's take a look back. More than 40 years ago, Sandy Weil had the inspired idea to bring together the public and private sector by partnering companies with public high schools to connect what students learn in the classroom to careers in growing industries. This concept has helped transform so many lives by creating access and opportunity for all who attend a NAF Academy. Over the last 4 decades, the inaugural class of 30 students has now become a national network of more than 600 academies, serving over 117,000 students. Sandy has always believed that education is the key, and that remains true so many years later. Here now to tell us more about what inspired him to create NAF 40 years ago and all the ways it has evolved since then is NAF's founder and chairman. Please join me in welcoming Sandy Weil.
My name is Sandy Weil. I was in the banking business. My first job was making $150 a month, and my wife made more money teaching in the New York City school system 2 days a week than I did working on Wall Street 5 days a week. And she claims I still owe her money. As I think about NAF and I think about how it started with a big turnover in the financial services industry. A lot of companies were thinking of moving out of the city, and yet when you drove around, you saw kids in the street playing ball, and we didn't teach at all in the school about any job-based learning. So I went to the then head of the Board of Education and said, I think it would make sense if we had a public-private partnership where you partnered with the financial industry in creating a program to teach these kids about the financial business so that they would have an opportunity to get the jobs that are really available. And we started with one school in Brooklyn with a 2-year program. We now have 5 themed academies, 117,000 kids. The teachers that work in our program are so committed to the kids, and I just want to thank all the teachers. NAF really has learned a lot in its past 40 years, and will use that knowledge and use the desire to collaborate and cooperate and partner. Today we have a problem that's national. There is such a big inequality between what one group of people make and what another group of people can make. So we want to move from our 117,000 kids to like 1 million kids, giving a whole host of American young people an opportunity to do great.
Hi, my name is Casey Anderson. I'm a senior at NAF High School, and I attend the Academy of Finance and IT.
My name is Tanvi Dongre. I go to Apex High School in Apex, North Carolina, and I'm in the Academy of Information Technology at Apex.
I am Nolan Kalara. I am a senior, and I'm from Milpitas, California, and the academy that I'm a part of is the Academy of Travel and Tourism.
My name is Nolan Welch. I am currently a senior at Apex High School, and I'm in the Apex High School Academy of Information Technology in Apex, North Carolina. I've had a lot of great experiences through my NAF Academy. As a part of my internship, I worked with NAF's work-based learning team, which essentially helps to build work-based learning awareness among students in NAF academies all across the country.
Internship itself, I learned a lot. I learned how to code. And again, it paying back to being an NAF student because I wouldn't have known a lot of the stuff that I already knew going into it.
As soon as I got into like IT, and as soon as I got into like the professional side of IT, like the more managerial side, the more business side, I realized that I really, really liked that field, and I actually ended up changing my college major from pre-law to business.
I did the NAF Future Ready Labs internship powered by Verizon and Deloitte. We try to create solutions focused on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. We built a prototype mobile resource center for the homeless.
The outside of the classroom experiences that really make it. We had like several team bonding field trips earlier in the experience, which like really helped us to get to know one another and get to know our teachers.
With working with this company, I had a chance to see the back end of the healthcare industry and different ways to innovate it.
I had the opportunity to work with a team of 5 total students who were all from NAF academies across the country. And we worked together to put together a COVID-19 health risk assessment tool, which was something that obviously connects to current events and was really great to kind of be able to put together a project that had some sort of tangible value.
When I went to the academy, the more experiences that I've had, my GPA improved and I was more comfortable with my teachers.
I didn't realize how many people don't have resumes until I started applying for school, and people were like, you already have a resume? Wow, you're already a couple steps ahead.
We had to represent a country, and we had to create a 5-day itinerary. With this project, I was able to learn more about my Filipino heritage.
For women to take that like first step and really get to those places, it's really important to make them feel like they can do this and be a woman in tech.
Only 7% of nurse practitioners nationwide are of color, so I would just like to keep changing this statistic.
Miss Tia Robinson.
My programming teacher, Miss Oakley.
Or Mr. McDowell and Miss Phillips.
Miss Legan, Miss Robinson, Miss Brownstein.
She's really a teacher that makes sure to go above and beyond in securing opportunities.
Miss Bada, and Mr. Maples.
In our academy, there's always been more boys than girls, so it's almost kind of like an inspiration, definitely a role model for us.
They were really amazing. Miss McDowell over the financial part and Miss Phillips over our IT department.
She was one of the big reasons why I love learning about the world.
She really taught me like the virtue of like patience and problem solving. The teachers have done a really, really good job making this year like bearable and the best it can be given the circumstances.
Kudos to them for making sure that no matter what, students are continuing to be future ready. They're continuing to learn valuable skills that they'll be able to apply in their future careers.
I'd like to thank you all so much for everything that you've done, and you are having an impact on all of us, and just keep going because we see you and we're so appreciative. Thank you all so much.
Hi, I'm JD Hoy, CEO of NAF. What a year it has been. I want to welcome you to our benefit, which reflects the year we've lived through. It's all virtual. But what's especially, I think, unique about this year and unique about this benefit is that historically we have honored corporate leaders. This year, we are honoring you, the teachers, those that actually make all of this work possible. This is your year, this is your moment, and a great statement of our appreciation and gratitude for your resilience, your willingness to innovate, and always keep students at the center of your work. So it's just a great privilege for me to thank you and to recognize your great work during this difficult time. As we entered this year, the first thing that I did was to reach out to many of you across the network and to find out what you were struggling with and how you were planning to address these issues. And I was stunned by the power of the creativity and innovation that you instantly jumped to. You guys were amazing. You went for the gusto of solve the problem, not shrink from the problem. What I've been so impressed with the educators, all of you, that support NAF and work with NAF, is watching you reach beyond your walls, your communities, to other states, sometimes to other countries, to bring experiences to and into the classroom experience for students. You have done that and had to adjust to the design without limiting quality and without, stepping aside and saying, well, we just can't do that for these students this year. Instead, you actually went, not only we're going to do it with these students this year, we're going to add more students to the equation because we have more flexibility with technology. Students are some of the most creative partners we have in this work, and we have young people who get that, and they come up with solutions and ideas. The teachers being honored tonight are teachers who want to hear those ideas and take student initiative and move it out. Instead of saying, no, follow the rules, color inside the lines. There's an opportunity that teachers inspire that have allowed our students to bring forth some amazing projects. There will be a time, I know, that you will be sitting back watching something on TV going, wait a minute, that's the thing that this student I had 5 years ago, they designed that. That's their creation. You have inspired our future leaders, our future employers, and within this special moment that we are with pandemic and the issues of social justice, bringing equity into this conversation, you have done a tremendous job. NAF envisions a world where every student has an opportunity for a bright future. None of that is possible without all the great work of the teachers and educators and business partners that work diligently every day on the ground to make sure students have all that they need to be successful. It is with great appreciation and gratitude I thank you all.
is Christian Ponce, and I am an alumni of the Charlotte Engineering Early College Academy of Engineering in Charlotte, North Carolina.
I'm Rashawn Johnson. I graduated 2019 from Miami Lakes Educational Center.
At my NAF Academy, there was strong significance placed on being able to communicate, to present, to be able to speak to others, and that really helped me later on.
It was definitely a great experience. Go through high school knowing that once I leave, I'll have a line of certifications that will help me with the workforce.
NAF Next is an annual conference held by NAF that's open to the entire network that features different speakers, events, panels, and workshops, speaking to all those professional people from these corporations and businesses and all of these things. It seemed like a really scary thing. But the event really forced me to improve my communication skills with adults. On the flight home, I noticed a lady sitting next to me who had a UNC Charlotte webpage up. And normally I wouldn't have said anything at all. I would have been way too shy. But after the event, I felt more comfortable with communicating and talking with adults. She was faculty, she was super nice, and she was telling me about how her and her colleague recently won a grant for VR research. I studied computer science, and coincidentally, virtual reality is a side hobby of mine. It's something I'm definitely interested in. So she gave me her card and I interviewed with her and her colleague. So it was a great professional experience. I got to see the research and be involved as a co-author up front, but it would have never happened if I hadn't gone to the NAF event or been a NAF student and been able to gain and learn those valuable soft skills.
Back in high school, Mr. Vernon reached out to me. He was like, I'm gonna nominate you to speak at the NAF Benefit. I went ahead and did the interview process, and probably a week or two later, they reached back out to me. You, Rashawn Johnson, will be speaking at the 2019 NAF Benefit. When I was actually there and I spoke at that event, looking over the crowd, it was astonishing.
We had one special moment with Rashawn Johnson. We were sort of bantering back and forth on stage.
The crowd was roaring. I got the people going somehow, some way.
I was immediately impressed by him.
It was like, hold on, before you even continue, here's my card.
And we offered him a job on the spot.
Do you need a job this summer? Do I? Of course.
About a month and a half later, he showed up, worked in our services organization under a really cool guy named Corey Williamson, and spent a few months with us as an intern. It was really kind of on the spot, falling in love and walking the walk and getting a good guy like that in the building with us.
Being there at that NAF Benefit, seeing so many people from different organizations, and the wealth of knowledge that I got that night, I just want to say for the students that are watching, just make sure that you always have a vision, set goals for yourself. Whatever you say that you are going to do, make sure that you're there to back it up.
There are thousands of opportunities for you out there, and you just have to persevere to find them and succeed in them.
Hello everyone, I am Ilanka Mickey, Lenovo's Global Commercial Communications and Brand Strategy Leader and a passionate supporter of NAF. Lenovo has also had a long-term NAF internship program, and we can't wait to welcome this year's group of students, although still in a virtual internship. At Lenovo, we're thankful for the partnership with NAF on so many different levels and the opportunities it has given us to enable the new, diverse generation of STEM leaders.
Never be afraid to dream.
Take every opportunity to grow and to learn.
The more you go out into the world and the more success you have, make sure you continue to be a learner, to have that growth and learning mindset.
And set your goals and develop the discipline to try to move toward those goals.
You have a tremendous opportunity, unprecedented opportunity, an opportunity that many would never have the opportunity to have.
NAF combines academics, experience, and mentoring, which is a powerful package to help young people along.
In the United States, you've got the capacity to try and to fail and to be able to try again and again. You create freedom of choice.
If you can work hard, you can do anything you want to do.
Look at and reflect on what the last year has changed positively.
The adversity of this past year can be a springboard to greater things, because it's not what happens to you that determines your fate in life or how far you will go in life, but rather it's how you handle what happens to you.
And so as much as we can opine and also just look at the tragedy, you have to spin it on its side and look at all the positives that came out of it and embrace that, because it could be the most impactful experience to shape your life positively that you'll ever experience.
One of the things you do in challenging times is you fortify yourself to not just withstand the challenges that you're going through today, but it's going to position you to deal with both the opportunities and the challenges going forward.
The traditional ways of how people think about talent are changing. It's about finding people and surrounding yourself with people who believe in you, who are inspirations to you.
Part of it is having the experience to know what opportunities there are and finding out what really resonates with you.
In fact, I was really moved by an opportunity to meet a very young woman at the time, Lauren Budzich, who was still in high school, where she had multiple internships. She ended up being hired by Johnson & Johnson and is now not only doing very well in our company, but also giving back, involved in NAF programs.
There has been no better time to be interested and engaged in tech, particularly if you're a woman or a underrepresented minority.
And you have shown amazing resilience during this pandemic, and that flexibility will help you become the best person that you can be.
Lifelong learning, it's not an event, it is a journey. And you just have to always pursue those opportunities to continue to learn, grow, and develop.
And you're going to be part of benefiting from some of the work that was done before you, but also building the foundation for the people who are coming after you.
Your potential is endless, and I can't wait to see where it takes you.
Buenos días, yo soy Juan Manuel de Bedú, soy el vicepresidente de Tecnologías Aeroespaciales en Raytheon Technologies. Mucho gusto en conocerlos.
Pues buenos días, mi nombre es Wilmar Andrea Galvez Alfonso, pertenezco a la Academia NAF en la Escuela Benito Cerezo Vázquez y mi año de graduación en el 2024. Mucho gusto en conocerlo.
Nice to meet you, Wilmar.
NAF has given me a lot of opportunities that I never thought I would have. My favorite thing has been like the meetings that I've had the chance to talk and like learn about the scientists and engineers. And I've always been interested in space and I want to be an astronaut when I grow up. So definitely that will be my dream career. The first question I have for you, how do you become interested in the aerospace industry?
My grandfather was a professor of aeronautics and astronautics at Purdue University. And so he was there during the golden age of space. So his students included Neil Armstrong, Gus Grissom, Roger Chaffee. So I had a lot of inspiration for being an astronaut.
Wow, that's great. What advice would you give NAF students who are interested in pursuing careers in the aerospace sector?
Well, my advice would be, don't feel that to be a part of the aerospace industry that you have to have an aerospace degree. This industry is one where, we need all kinds of engineers. Find what drives you, find what really energizes and motivates you, and focus on that.
How do Raytheon support students, especially girls, who dream of working in the aerospace industry like me?
Hey, Wilmar, great question. Share role models for engineering. Share stories about why this stuff is really cool and very exciting and energizing. It is so important. And this was a pleasure to talk with you and to engage with you today. And, I think you have a great trajectory ahead of you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
You've now gotten a glimpse on the impact NAF is having on students and alumni from California to Puerto Rico. NAF is working every day to ensure every student has access to opportunities that will help turn their aspirations into realized dreams. One of the ways NAF is doing this is through Project Opportunity. Project Opportunity will specifically support and amplify the hands-on training and experiences, including internships, that are most meaningful to students' personal and professional growth. These experiences bring classroom learning to life and inspire students to see new possibilities for their future. NAF's friends at the NBA are already in and have made an initial investment of $300,000 to the fund. NAF is so grateful to the NBA for its support.
Now, more than ever, your support helps NAF ensure high school students are college, career, and future ready. If you can, please contribute any amount to NAF right now. Here's all you have to do. Take out your cell phone, create a new text message, enter in the address line the number you see on your screen, 646-891-4623. Now type your name, the amount of your pledge, and any short message you would like to share with our students, alumni, and teachers. Or if you would like to give anonymously, simply note that in your message. Then hit send. Please know that you will not be billed through your mobile carriers, but will be prompted with payment options. If you support, your pledge and message could go up on our screen for all of our viewers to see. So start texting.
My name is Alicia Khan. I was an Academy of Finance at John Dewey High School in New York City, and I live in Howard County, Maryland.
My name is Natasha Katak Singh. I'm a 2002 graduate of the Academy of Finance program from Gaithersburg High School in Gaithersburg, Maryland.
A lot of things that I use in business today, I got from the Academy of Finance. Know your client. Keep up with understanding with technology and understanding what the market is doing.
I think a transformational experience for me with NAF was the ability to speak with adults, speak with those that have more life experience than me, and genuinely be able to have conversations with them and not be afraid to ask questions.
In a lot of situations I walk into, I'm the only woman, I'm the only African American, and I feel like because of the education that I have, I could stand in the room and have that conversation.
We had wonderful field trips up to New York, where I was fortunate enough to be able to meet finance executives. So that was a really special experience for me to be introduced to women in finance and really craft out what I wanted to do in my life. Some advice that I'd love to give to current NAF students is make sure you give back. Make sure you look for ways to pay it forward.
Any of these NAF programs, any of these career technology education programs, complete it. By completing the task, by having that education, it impacted my life.
I'm part of a community, a lifelong community of supporters and advocates that I didn't realize that I was getting into when I was 15. But now I have a community that I rely on, and so you're going to be getting a lot. Always look for ways to bring up your fellow peers.
Hey, what's going on? This is Kelvin Beacham of the Arizona Cardinals. Just want to take this time to give a shout out to all the NAF teachers that are in this particular network. You all are doing a fantastic job. One of the biggest reasons education is so important to me, because I know that it's the key to success. It's the key to one of the foundational keys to economic mobility. And I believe, and still do believe, that is one of the last frontiers as far as equity within our country right now. So being able to have access to education and all things within education, specifically STEM and STEM resources, science, technology, and engineering, I think is most important. Yes, I'm a pro athlete, but at the same time, I've always said everybody can go pro in sports, but you can go pro in STEM. And firmly believe that, because there's so many opportunities for our young people to be so successful within all things STEM related. But to all the teachers out there, keep doing what you're doing. You're a pivotal and one of the focal points of what America needs and what it stands for. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep teaching, keep serving. We need you just as much as anybody in our country right now. Be blessed. Take care.
We would be remiss not in some way honor teachers. I hold them in highest regard possible.
The fact that the educators could adapt, could learn, and could teach in this environment.
Every year they deserve the greatest honors in my view, but this year in particular.
You have risen to the challenge, and frankly, you never signed up for this challenge.
The teacher is like a magician.
All of us on the board of directors NAF would just say a huge thank you to the educators who are involved with NAF.
And the time that you are spending with our children is so vitally important to us. The set of values that you teach them, as well as the subject matters.
God bless you for the work you do. It's been difficult on the students, on the teachers, on the families.
Your flexibility, your dedication during this last year is really making a difference to the next generation of leaders. Thank you.
It's hard to find words of appreciation and gratitude, but what you're doing is making such a tremendous impact.
Young people that throughout their lives will not only be influenced by you for good, but they will have some little place in their heart.
You know, you are so concerned, everyone who I've seen, all the teachers that I've seen and been interacted with, about the kids so that they don't lose ground, that they continue to progress.
You are creating moments that are going to matter to people for a lifetime.
Teachers are in partnership with parents, with the community.
We should have a way to honor them every single day of every single year.
There's one that stands out for me. It would be Mother Teresa, who was Sister Teresa when I was going through school, growing up in Calcutta. She taught me a lot.
The time that I had spent with so many teachers and students in high school is what made me me.
One of the most important elements in the process of getting yourself educated is being lucky enough to have interacted with a good teacher.
You all are going to be the highlights of so many people's moments that will guide them into the future, so thank you.
From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for what you do because you are the ones that shape us.
I had a history teacher that in fact talked to me about leadership and the role that business could play in our society. Certainly played a fundamental role in my development and success.
You don't have to dream big dreams to do big things. You need to do big things to do big things.
Teaching is a noble profession.
The beacon of character, of integrity.
They make learning come alive.
It's vitally important that we recognize how important you, the educators, are to making this program a success.
There's no more important place to be, teachers and nurses, right? That's the way I think about what keeps the world running. Teachers and nurses.
My name is Elizabeth Beck.
I am Tessie Ford.
My name is Michelle Halapaugh.
My name is Linda Bradlin.
My name is Jeremy Letlow.
My name is Bev Hott.
My name is Martin Bryan.
I'm Brenda Rangel.
I am teaching at Waipahu High School for Academy of Engineering.
Lead for PAB, which is an Academy of Finance for NAF.
I'm the Academy of Engineering Director here at Southern Lee High School.
I work at the St. Croix Career and Technical Education Center.
I'm the coordinator of the STEM Academy at Northridge High School.
I am the Academy of Business and Technology, Skyline High School.
I teach at Warren Easton Charter High School.
I teach at Ben Carson High School, the Academy of Health Sciences there.
Located in St. Croix, Virgin Islands.
Oahu in Hawaii.
Idaho Falls, Idaho.
Detroit, Michigan.
Sanford, North Carolina. New Orleans, Louisiana.
Greeley, Colorado. In Portobello, California.
Ever since I was little, I wanted to be a teacher.
I never wanted to be in education whatsoever.
I started teaching back in 1998.
Just because I really felt comfortable at school.
And I fell in love with teaching people how to learn skills that they need to be successful in life.
I started and I loved it. And I could have never thought about doing education.
I found a passion and a love for it that I felt like I was giving the kids something that I didn't get to have, and I hopefully was making a difference in their lives.
really developed a love for coaching. It also allowed me to teach life through the classroom.
And I just like to see the kids succeed. I like seeing them learn new things and then evolve.
Seeing that the light bulb that goes off in their head to say, I found something I like to do.
It's what working with youth is all about.
I've been part of the NAF Academy for 6 years now.
We first got involved with NAF because, we wanted to be a recognized academy, something that had some validity to it.
I really researched a new way in order to give the kids curriculum, and we found the Academy program.
And then I've been the director of our Academy of Engineering for the past 4 years.
We brought NAF in to help us develop engineering and IT pathways. NAF has helped us redefine ourselves.
It's very advisory board based and industry based.
I like the kids to see you start here, you finish here, you do an internship, and it's a progression.
A lot of what we teach is practical and is what people use in life.
Doing work-based learning experiences, mock interviews with the kids.
It brings a whole new level of appreciation.
When students come to our school, they know they're on a path. And they learn that there's all these job opportunities, career opportunities in the healthcare field.
It aligns really well with what I want to do for my students.
Financial literacy has become a passion for us.
I'm so lucky that I'm doing hands-on stuff that I can say, here is why we need to know these things.
They don't have to be a doctor or a nurse. There's all kinds of health careers available to them.
When they're finished with their training, they are qualified, just like any other employee is at Tulare County Federal Credit Union to perform any of the banking transactions.
When they leave here, the Academy of Hospitality and Tourism here at Warren Easton, they're productive citizens and they're career ready.
This year as a teacher, I would say has been unlike any other that I've had in my 28 years.
Friday the 13th in March. And it has been quite a roller coaster since then.
We were rushing to deploy as many devices to students.
When you're used to having 50% of your time spent on hands-on projects.
We did not have our curriculum online.
I've never used so little paper.
Technology is a challenge.
Students trying to learn from their phones. And
a lot of our kids do, believe it or not, still do not have computers at home.
It's been a wave. You just gotta ride the wave, right?
What I liked about it though, COVID has made me do things a little differently.
It also made me reinvent myself in some ways. I learned some new ideas, some new projects.
Some parts of the courses will tell you, okay, have them do a report or a PowerPoint. And I said, you know what, why don't do a skit?
I'm really happy that the industry also didn't give up on the students and that they're offering virtual presentations.
Came back with the attitude that we're going to try to give our students the same experiences, even though they're virtual.
We went through the skit and it hit all the points that were required for the assignment.
So it has evolved into something greater than we ever expected.
And the students are still excelling.
Our students have exhibited an amazing amount of courage, and they pivot every time we need them to.
I am so proud of them. They're participating.
Always put your best foot forward, and no matter what you do in life, you have to make a good impression.
They're supporting each other.
I'm super proud of them and super happy for not giving up.
I want you to continue to strive to have the self-discipline to do what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, the very best you can every time.
Thank you so much again, everyone, for joining NAF tonight for the 2021 Virtual Benefit. NAF is so grateful to the companies and individuals who sponsored and supported this evening. To everyone tonight who tuned in to the benefit program and to those who texted in a donation and special messages to NAF students, teachers, and alumni, Sandy, JD, and Lisa, and the entire team at NAF, thank you all for your support. Good night, everyone, and hopefully NAF will see you in person for next year's benefit.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you and 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 good night.
Thank you all for listening in, and good night. Take care and be well.
Thank you, and have a great night.
Thank you and good night. We love you.
Thank you and good night.
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 Thank you and good night.